friends, welcome back to another Renee's Corner video. I'm Tanisha Renee, and today we are going to be recapping the month of March. I know that my recording schedule has just been all over the place, but that is mainly because my life has been all over the place. And so if you're interested in seeing what happened in the month of March, stay tuned. Okay, so I'm not really sure what happened in the month of March, but like things just really hit the fan. You know, I talked about in February's recap how I was feeling like I was finally getting, you know, my groove, and I was doing the things and all of that, and it just like got off in the month of March. Like maybe I'm burnt out, maybe I've been like pushing myself too hard, I'm not really sure, but like March just felt not okay. Like it just was so busy and so stressful, and I'm just not really sure, like there's not anything I can like pinpoint it on. It just felt really stressful like the entire month. So I'm going to do this in buckets again. And so Children's Hospital is going great. I'm wearing the shirt, that's so funny. Well, this isn't from where I'm working now, this is from a summer camp. It's going better. We have been getting just more cases, more variety of cases. So I think the youngest I've seen now is like a 4-year-old, and we've seen up to like a 20-year-old, which is pretty old for the Children's Hospital, but we got to see them. And so yeah, I'm just getting a more variety of cases. So what's happening now is I'm doing mainly all of the kid interviews, and then what's going to start happening is once we have like a kid who's having like some sleep difficulties, I'll start doing sleep modules with those kids. But so far we just haven't had any kids with sleep problems, which is really great because kids are sleeping amazing. So that's really good, because sleep is like one of the most common things that's affected when you have chronic pain. It's still like, I don't know how to say this nicely, but it's still like so draining. Like the days I go to the hospital, my brain is just like, by the end of the day, my brain is just like, nope, we're not doing anything else. Like I don't know what it is, but it's just a very long day. And then on the half days, like it's very hard with the hospital, and I'm just drained from that. And then I go into a full day of Zoom, like a full half day of Zoom, and it's just exhausting. So I'm not really sure why it's just so draining, but it is. And maybe, I can't remember what day it was, but one of the days that I was at the hospital, I got to work with a sleep psychologist. The pain psychologist was out, and so the sleep psychologist filled in, and I got to work with her for a day, which was so cool because it's so like niched and like very specific, and I just had never worked with the pain or sleep psychologist before. And so it was really cool, like some of the things she recommends as a sleep psychologist, and so that was really dope. And I had a great time learning from her. So the autism clinic, it's going fabulous. I wish I could stay there forever, to be honest. Like it's just so fun. We're getting really complex and like more interesting cases, I think. Like at first, some of the cases are very like straightforward, and then as we've, you know, matriculated through my time there, like the cases have gotten more complex like social things, school things. I got to assess a kid who I would characterize them as being verbal, but the way that they verbalize is all through like echoes. And so if you don't know what echolala is I'm not gonna be able to give you a good definition, but basically how he communicates is, my camera's dying, so hang on. It always happens when you're like right at the good part, like the camera dies. So basically the way that he communicates, or they communicate, is basically they have heard phrases in a TV show, or they've heard somebody say a phrase, and they will echo it back to you. And so I think I said something to him like, okay, we're almost finished, and then we'll get to play with Thomas the Train. And he's like, okay, we're almost finished, we can play with Thomas the Train. He echoes like many languages at this point. I think he's up to 4 or 5. He's a little one. And so that was really cool. So instead of giving him like the normal whisk, I learned how to give the lighter, which is an all nonverbal IQ test. And that was really cool. It's such a cute test. Like if you've ever given the Whipsy, it's very similar to that in its cuteness, if you know what I'm talking about. Report writing is getting better, but it's just the cases are more complicated, so it makes it just a little bit harder to get through those like written reports and assessment reports. yeah, I think because the cases are harder, we're having to explain a lot more in our reports, which typically we don't do as much of. And so that's been pretty, it's been tougher, but it's still like good. Like I think it's a good learning opportunity. It's like changed how I do the assessment reports that I do for like our clinic because of the way that we do them at the autism clinic, if that makes sense. Okay, so my dissertation is moving. My goal is to turn it in like 2 weeks from today. Actually, by the time you all see this, it'll be the weekend that this video comes out. My goal is to turn it in there. It is moving, but good grief, it's going so slow. Like I am over it. Oop, I am pretty over it. Oh, my phone just alerted me that there's a new Attack on Titan episode that came out today. Anyways, so I'm really over it. Like I'm just struggling because there's like an argument I'm trying to make, but the literature that would support that argument does not exist, because that's what you do in research. You're trying to create and generate new knowledge, but the way that the system and academia is set up, they're like, yeah, create new knowledge, but back it up with all this old knowledge. And if you're, you know, subject or whatever is very niche, it's very hard to do that. And so that's sort of what I've been struggling with writing it, but it's getting there. So let's see, the PSC, so our Psychological Services Center, that is moving. I have 3 really good clients. I've been doing like really good therapy, I think. Like I've been feeling really good about it. And I was thinking about this yesterday. One of the professors was like, oh, do you all want to go back in person? And honestly, I feel like I'm a better therapist over Zoom. Like I think in person I might be awkward. Like I was awkward before, and then like moving to Zoom really helped me like build my therapist skills. So I'm a little worried about moving back to in person. I wrapped up an assessment. I'm finishing editing that, and I will do feedback with that family, which is really exciting, to get that off of my plate. I'm just trying, my goal like at this point is just getting stuff off my plate, like sending it on to wherever it needs to go so it's not on my plate. That's the theme of April, okay? That's our theme going forward. So let's see, PSC stuff. Oh, also it was announced that I have obtained the position of PSC Assistant Director for the next school year, which is so exciting because I really wanted this position for a very long time. And like as soon as I got here and I learned what the position was, I was like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. And so I feel really fortunate and blessed to be able to have this position and that people have supported me doing this position. So basically what the assistant director does in our program is we assign cases, we call people with referrals, and we train the first years on intakes and I think a couple other things like how to use titanium and how to, you know, get more information from people when you're on the phone with them, etc. And so yeah, it's really a full circle moment. I'm really excited about it, to be honest. And it also was announced that I'm going to be the student representative for four faculty, I don't really know. But basically this position is, my hair, I feel like through the course of this video has just like, okay. This position basically is like the student liaison. So I'll attend faculty meetings, I'll report out to students, and then students can report to me if there's any concerns. I'm also in charge of the climate survey, which just started last year, and so we are doing the 2nd annual of that, and so I'll be in charge of that. And I think that's it for student rep. I can't think of anything else right now. What else? Yes, oh, I did my first non-essential vaccine after post-vaccine thing. I went and got my nails done and I got my feet done, which let me tell you, it was so scary. Like I have just been like home, school, like I go to my school, I'll go to the hospital, I'll go home to the grocery store. Like that's all I've been doing. And like I went to the nail salon. I was so nervous because the nail salon I go to, I found out wasn't being super safe. And so I'm glad I waited until I got my vaccine to go. But like getting my nails done like enhanced my mental health so much. Like when my nails are done, I feel like my life is together. And I know that sounds silly, but it really makes a difference to me. And so I'm so glad I went, and I'm gonna continue to go. So I'll probably go every like 3 weeks or whatever. And then I had lunch with a classmate, and it was so so good. We ate on her like balcony. We had Chipotle, which I hadn't had in a while, and it was just so good. Like just connecting and being in person with somebody. Like I have been feeling very socially isolated, and so to be able to go to lunch with her was so good for my mental health too. And so yeah, I think going to lunch with my friend Kimberly like really highlighted how lonely I've been feeling, and I think I've been like suppressing those things. So yeah, also a big milestone, I went to therapy this month. I have been searching and searching for a new therapist here in St. Louis, and I really like my new therapist. She is very cool. She's a Black woman. She's like young, like I really like her. We talk about anime, and I'm really excited about that prospect of just starting therapy and just taking care of my mental health better than I have been, I guess, in the last, like since I've moved out. I just haven't been taking care of my mental health in the way that I should be, and I think that as a mental health practitioner, it's important for me to practice what I preach, and I'm always telling people to go to therapy, and so I'm super excited to be going to therapy. And yeah, so that I'm really proud of that, because it took me a long time to decide to go. I was like hemming and hawing on it. Do people know what that phrase means? If you don't know what hemming and hawing on it means, like comment so I can explain it. I use some phrases from back home that I don't know if other people know what they mean. I have been like oscillating between going and not going. I was like, I don't really need to go, I'm fine. And then I was like, yeah, maybe I could go, blah, blah, blah. So I finally went, and it was good, and I'm super excited about it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the month of March. I don't know. Oh, also I hit like 130 clinical hours in the month of March alone. Can you see my gray hair? Anyways, I hit 130 hours. So I think that's part of the reason why I felt so burnt out this month, is just because like I've been busy. Like I just there's a lot on my plate right now. I'm like doing other stuff outside of school, and so it's just been kind of tough. But I'm feeling good. It's April 3rd. I'm feeling just really good about April. I have told people that I'm already like pulling back from stuff, and so yeah, I'm hoping that April will be a good month. And yeah, so that's basically it. So if you have watched to this far, leave an orange emoji. I saw a sunset the other day and it was so orangey and pretty. Anyway, so leave an orange emoji, and I will see you all next week. And yeah, exciting things on the horizon. Hopefully, if I can get my life together. Peace out. I love you all so much. Bye.